1,000 laughs over a weekend as well. Vail Comedy Festival. Pet an alpaca or hike a trail.
All right. Hey, everybody. We're back. Another live from Vail Comedy Festival. This is a remote taping. We're doing it with Salma Zaky a couple weeks after the Vail Comedy Festival wrapped up over Memorial Day weekend. Salma's currently at a Denver, possibly moving. Maybe we'll get into that. We'll see about that. So funny, all festival long. I've had, none of this is public at this time, but when all these videos are out, you're going to see so many other comedians talking about how funny Salma Zaky is.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, everybody's a lot of buzz about Salma Zaky. She had some great, honestly, like every time I saw you on stage at the festival, you were killing, like very consistently.
That's nice. It was such good. The crowds were so good. It was so fun.
Yeah, it was a good time. So let's get into, let's start with, how did you hear about Vail Comedy Festival?
Well, I heard about it from a lot of Denver folks did it last year. And honestly, like everyone told me to apply and do it. And so I heard nothing but good things. And, like Kelsey Rosen and Austin Black, Sammy Anzer, they all told me you got to do it. And I was like, all right. And so it was word of mouth, really.
All right. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Are you able to talk about moving? Are you moving? Is this a secret?
Yeah. No, it's not a secret. I'm moving to New York in a few months. Okay. With Kate Strobel, another great comedian, and we are we're getting out of Denver, which it's bittersweet. Yeah. I'm very sad to leave a lot of my friends and the scene, but I'm excited for what awaits.
Yeah. So make sure you bring that word of mouth to New York City.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are so many New York comics too, which is so great.
Middle of the road comics, but the really funny ones. Tell them to apply.
Of course. Yeah, I'm definitely going to recommend it.
Speaking of Kate Strobel, you and Kate, I saw you last night and thought about you. Your autograph was on the wall at Teehee's Comedy Club in Des Moines,
yeah. Oh, are you in Des Moines?
I'm in Iowa City right now.
Oh, yeah. We did it really recently. We did it last month. Yeah, it was so fun.
Yeah, cool. Once this is over, we can chat a little bit more about that. But yeah, it was cool that it was nice to see, I'm on the road in the Midwest, and it was fun to see some recognizable names. And
yeah, totally.
Yeah. Cool. So you hear about the festival, you apply, you get in. How do you get up to the festival?
Well, it's very nice because it's just a couple hours drive. So it was very easy to get there. And, I drove Peter Wong, and oh my God, so great. Yeah. Such a great, both a great car buddy and a great comedian. So
nice. Thank you for driving a comic, by the way.
Yeah, no, I loved it. I mean, it's weird because we met way back when I first started comedy.
I did a taping with him. Everybody who's watching this, go watch Peter Wong's episode. He also talks about how you guys met originally.
I know, it's so funny. It's like comedy is so weird like that, where you meet someone 7 years ago and then you drive them to Vail. Like, I don't know. I just love that about comedy. And then now we're like pretty good friends. And I'm like, wow, what a weird turn of events,
Yeah, that's so cool. And what a great comedian. Both of you are both terrific comedians. So
he's so funny.
Yeah. Okay. So you drive up, you save a polar bear by carpooling with another comic and help out the festival. We appreciate that. Where did you stay up in Vail?
Well, we stayed at the Antlers.
I
stayed at Antlers. Yeah.
So nice. Shout out to Antlers at Vail.
Shout out to Antlers. Also my roommate, Jill Wiener, I also had met her years ago. So I loved all these like connections that I was making, like reconnecting with comics I haven't seen in a while. And that was so fun. I love Jill. I mean, it was like the best time. I really do look back fondly from 2 weeks ago.
That's so nice. All right. I'm going to ask you a question, and I'm going to awkwardly go get my laptop charger.
Okay.
Tell me about some other comics that you met that you didn't know before, who you're excited that you
met. Oh my gosh. I met a lot of New York comics. Britt Miggs I met a Chicago comic. Of course I'm blank. Carmen Jimenez, who
Hillary.
Sorry, Hillary. Where did I get Carmen? That's weird. Hillary Jimenez, who I also just saw at Limestone, so that was cool. That I had.
What?
Yeah, I met her, and then the week later we did another festival, and that was awesome. I mean, there were tons of Devontre I had known a little bit, but then we became closer over the festival. Jamel from New York. I mean, Matt Benjamin. Like there was just I made so many new
So
friends.
funny.
Yeah,
So many people. So you just did Limestone.
I just did it. Yeah, I just came back from it.
You're
Yeah.
part of an exclusive club that went Vail Limestone. I
I
think.
know I did and then I did Trinidad like 2 weekends before Vail, so I've just been festivaled out.
Yeah. Wow. I'm trying to think. I think last year, I know Sammy Anzer did Vail Limestone. I
Yeah,
think there was one or two other comics who also did the Vail
could
Limestone.
have been. Yeah, totally.
Are you doing 10,000 Laughs? Do you
I
know?
applied. I applied. I would love to do it. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
there were a couple comics who did the boom, boom, boom. The old
Oh,
trick.
it's 10,000 coming up. Is it? It's in or something.
I think so. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think it's in like maybe fall or
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So
No, I definitely. I hope to do it. I just want to do every festival that's ever
every
been
single
created.
festival. What do you like about so for newer comics? What do you like? Like why go to a festival?
I mean, it really is like the meeting other comics, I think is the kind of the biggest benefit of doing a festival. Like you meet comics from every single scene. I mean, like from so many different scenes, which then allows you to maybe go back to that scene and do other shows. And then and then you get to check out, like I had never been to Indiana, or whatever, or like whatever city, Vail. I don't spend much time in Vail. So it's also cool to like check out a new city or a new place. And yeah, it's really just like a fun week. Like it's just it's just so much fun. It's like there's always stories that come out of it. If you room with someone random, you make a new buddy. And there's so many benefits to it.
That's awesome. So talk about Vail a little bit. You don't spend a ton of time in Vail.
Yeah.
What was your impression of Vail over Memorial Day weekend?
Yeah, Vail, I mean it's such a cool town. I mean, it's beautiful, first of all. It's like you can't be like upset when you're surrounded by like the most beautiful like stars and mountains and like little cute little creeks and like I feel like I'm in like a fairy tale. I'm like, what is this? It's so far, it's so close to Denver, but it's so far removed in the way that it's like it's like its own little like village, and so and then at night when it just feels like it's just comics like crawling around and just taking over a city, which is like I do wonder sometimes about that, where I'm like, do people like it's funny to have just comics bombarding a like cute little city, but it's so fun just walking around late night and Vail's so beautiful.
Did you run into anybody who recognized you from stage, like audience
There were
people?
like there were a few people that were like at every show or whatever, or they would just be, oh, we saw you last night, and that's so cool too. It just it's like a little two days of fame in Vail.
Yeah,
It feels cool.
that's fun, neat. How did you get from Antlers, which is in Lion's Head for any locals, over to Vail Village for all the events?
Well, at first I walked because I'm always scared of public transportation in terms of getting lost, where I'm like, I just don't want to get on the shuttle and like be in fucking like Trinidad or something random. So I know that wouldn't happen, but I just get scared. And so, but then I was taught how to use the shuttle, and so then I use the shuttle.
Yeah, it's a straight line. You really
I know. I just have irrational fears of like getting lost.
and it's free. I struggle with that all the time with traveling comics who are from big cities, San Francisco, Los Angeles, New York City, Atlanta, and they're like, yeah, I don't take public buses. But I'm like, no, try this one. Trust me.
Oh,
like there'll be people on it with tuxedos. Like everybody's so friendly. Everybody's gonna help you out. It's free.
I know. I just have a weird like block with it. But then once I learned, I was like, oh, why am I walking like 30 minutes when I could? But the walk was also nice too at times. Like I would just pick like, do I want to get my steps in or do I want to get there fast?
Nice. Did you have any good food while you were in Vail?
Yeah, we did. We went to the one bar at the end of the night most nights.
George?
Yeah, and they actually had surprisingly very good bar food.
Yeah, really.
I would recommend that place. They had like a duck quesadilla.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of
delicious.
wild, but good. Yeah, good stuff.
You don't get that at a lot of basement dive bars.
No, no, not at all. I was like, this burger is like amazing. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's great. Okay, so tell me about some of the stages you got to perform at. What were some of the venues?
Yeah, I think so. The venue, so there was the Cochina. That's the one I did a couple times, and then the one Frost. Frost was my favorite venue, I think. Just
Oh yeah,
from
just
everyone.
describe it. Like how would
Like
you?
it felt it was because it was still kind of daylight out, but it was like completely dark in there, and it felt like a little comedy club. It was like the way the seats were and everything. It was like it did not feel like it was 5 p.m. It felt like it was like a late night, like cool little club, and yeah, in Vail, and that was a very fun venue.
Shout out to the volunteers and all the people that
Yeah,
converted
shout out.
into
Yeah.
into a comedy club for
You
like
made it
an hour and
happen.
a half and then tore it all down and took it.
Totally.
It's very Frost is cool. It's very wide. I've heard this before, but I feel like this was the first weekend I really understood it. This idea that wide is good in comedy rooms.
Yeah, instead of like where it's like when it's long. Yeah.
Right. When
Yeah,
like McDougal, the Comedy Cellar, like the original Comedy Cellar, it's a very wide
yeah.
room.
Yeah, totally.
And Frost was like that.
Yeah, no, it was so fun. I loved that.
We'd never run a comedy show at Frost before
really?
the festival. So
Really? Wow. Yeah, no, that was a
first
great
time, and I think they're so excited. They want to work with us more, the Sebastian Hotel, and like getting feedback from you and other comics. It sounds like everybody had a good time there, the audience, and so.
Yeah, no, it was such a blast, and it was such a even when I wasn't on the show, I would still of course go and watch and hang out and seeing people that I hadn't seen before, and it's very like inspiring, and it's very cool to just see like all different types of comedy on one stage.
Yeah, and over the course of the weekend, you got to see so many different sets.
Yeah,
that's one thing that I like about comedy festivals.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Was there a particular moment during a show that you were especially taken by, some comedian maybe you didn't know before? Or
I mean, honestly, Peter Wong, he blew me away because the last time I saw him was like I said, like 6 years ago.
Oh my goodness.
We were both like not great. I'll say it. We both kind of sucked. I mean, I only saw him
I said it for you. Don't you worry about it. You go watch that episode now.
Oh, okay. Well, then yeah, he really sucked if he's saying that about me. But we only did open mics together. So like obviously it was like, not good, whatever. But when I saw him, I was like, wow, he had a joke where he just like made a face and it got like the biggest laugh. And I was like, oh my God, it's crazy. It's great.
It's the best. Like it's the joke from the festival that I'm most jealous of.
Yeah, me too. I've been thinking about that joke. Like I've been like, damn, I want a joke where
it's incredible how he doesn't even say the thing. It's like so good. It's so good. It's incredible.
That inspired me. Yeah, I was like, I want to write more like face jokes.
Yeah, like an act out, but with
it's like a tiny act out, but it's like so funny.
It's so fun. I mean, just that whole bit is so good.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
And Jill too. Jill, I hadn't seen in a while, and like, man, she had me dying. Jill is so funny. I love Jill.
That's awesome. Yeah. Did you? So you did walk between the two villages of Vail and Vail Village. Did you do any other outdoorsy stuff or?
No, it was funny because I knew all the New York comics were like, we gotta go hike because they don't like get to do that. But I'm kind of like, used to having that availability. So I just kind of slept in. But I kind of wish I did a Vail hike because it did look so beautiful. And I was like, I should have taken advantage of that.
Yeah, that's okay. All right. Anybody who you plan to see? I guess you'll see all the New York comics.
Yeah, no, I mean, I am planning to see. Yeah, Britt, I've talked to her. Like, I'm in contact with a lot of the people, like on Instagram or everything. So it's Devontrae's coming out here in August doing my show, and yeah, so it's cool. It's really cool, like seeing all the connections,
circles, and that's fun. Tell me about, so famously, I'm not really on social media. Famously wasn't the right way to say that.
No,
nobody cares. About 8 people know that I'm not on social media. But like from you just mentioned Instagram. Like what what was your experience online like during the festival? Like, were there people sharing pictures and videos? Like
Yeah,
what
yeah, yeah, totally. I mean, I know Nick Holmby and Jeff Stonick were taking great photos as they do,
Mhm.
and it was like instantly online and shareable, and so that was very cool. I think it definitely built up the FOMO for next year, and I think it gets a lot of comics like excited, and I'm excited to spread the word and tell people
That's
to
awesome.
yeah to
Cool.
apply definitely.
Yeah, but just the funny ones, please. The,
Yeah,
the review committee
yeah.
would like that. It was kind of this. I probably shouldn't say this on this tape thing, but one of the we have a committee that reviews all the videos.
Mhm.
Just to be clear, I don't have much to do with who gets accepted and who
Yeah.
doesn't. I'm just the messenger for everybody out there listening. We have all this committee. We pay them to review videos and score, and then there's this whole algorithm, and it figures out who gets in and who doesn't.
Mhm.
But I did hear feedback this year that there were a lot of worse videos than last year. So we got more submissions this year
Oh,
than last
oh,
year, and like
true.
the bottom section of the videos
Yeah.
was there was a lot more of them. So yeah,
Yeah, I think it's probably from, like, social media, like, because I don't sometimes you post something, you don't know who's, like, actually taking it in and
right,
actually applying, but, yeah, that definitely it spreads. The word spreads, especially about festivals. People are always, trying to get to a new scene. So,
yeah,
I think next year it'll probably be even more people, to be honest. It might be, yeah.
probably.
It'll just keep growing and
Once
growing.
they find out that Salma Zaky did it,
Oh,
take
yeah.
off. Okay, so you just did a couple festivals. Let's say one of your friends gets into next year's festival. What's something you hope we do differently to make the experience better?
I heard this from a few people about the one venue that Carmen. Well, by the way, all the headliners. I didn't mention any headliners, but yeah, Carmen, Leah. I mean, everyone was like so good.
Yeah,
And that those are also people that I met. I had never met Leah before, so that was
so
awesome.
funny.
But anyways, so what's it called? Yeah, that venue that Carmen did was so good.
Sarah's Lounge at Crystal.
Yeah, and I think there should be more. I did a show there too, and it was so good. Even like when it's less people, it's still that one really felt like another little underground. It felt like an underground comedy cellar type vibe.
Yeah, that's a fun
That was
venue.
very Carmen's show. Yeah,
It is behind the scenes difficult to set up because we had to get
the
the
tables and stuff.
yeah, we had to
Yeah.
move all the tables and on Monday when everybody else was like driving and flying and going places.
Yeah.
I broke down that venue by
Oh,
myself
wow.
like three
I know, I
hours.
remember you telling us, like, when the first day, like, when we were eating the barbecue, and
Yeah.
then you're like, "This festival or this room doesn't look like anything," and I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." And then I, like, got to it, and I'm like, "What the hell? This is the best." Well, I would say, yeah, maybe, like, more shows there.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it takes energy to get it set up like that. But
Yeah,
yeah,
but
right.
it pays off, I would say,
Yeah.
because
That's
that was awesome. That show was awesome.
the
Yeah.
Saturday night one.
Yeah,
That's what you're talking about. That was
that
like,
yeah,
for me, that was like a top 10
that
comedy
was
show
top,
I've ever
yeah.
been to. It
I think
was,
we all were, like, pretty jealous. We were like,
yeah,
"Man,
yeah.
that's
It's insane. You
that's
never know. I mean, that's the thing. We had 20 plus comedy events during the festival. And it's
yeah."
so like, how do you know which one's going to be the
No,
magic?
definitely, yeah, for
You know?
sure.
So a little bit of roll of the dice there.
Yeah,
Okay, well, that's good feedback. More shows at Sarah's Lounge. It's a very
yeah,
positive thing. That show
yeah,
was so good. We need more of it.
yeah.
What's something you loved about this festival? Maybe you haven't seen at other festivals.
I mean, I think definitely the amount of shows, the stage time was more, and the open mic. I actually haven't seen open mics at festivals too often, and that was really cool too, because if you just want extra stage time, especially if you flew out, and you're like, yeah, I'll get on stage again. Comics love to just get on stage literally whenever and wherever they can. So
One of my favorite things about the festival was when I set up the stage time for everybody, I sent the schedule first to the headliners and I said, look, here's your like contractually obligated stage time. Would you like more spots? And all of them were like, as many spots as I can
yeah,
get. I want to be on every single day. Give me all the spots. Load me up.
Totally,
We had
yeah.
surprise drop-ins from the headliners on, I think,
I
every.
know. It was so cool. I love seeing, I love seeing the headliners drop in and even do the mic sometimes. And
Yeah. So the mics, which we call a show-up showcase. But the show-up showcase, can you describe it to people who might think like open mics stink?
oh yeah, I mean you do sign up and you get to go up, but it's from the people from the show before tend to like stay because it'll be like right after a showcase, and so it was like one of them was like literally like the same exact.
Yeah, there were
Like,
like 30 audience members.
yeah, and so yeah, that was surprising and very surprisingly amazing, and um, so that was something I hadn't seen before that I thought was cool and
I'm
fun.
jealous of that. Did you get up at that mic?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, no, it
I was
was.
setting up a venue and I ran over. I was supposed to have a spot and they were tearing it down right as I came in the door. I was like, no.
Yeah, no, it was cool. Oh, also the magic show. That's something I haven't
Oh,
seen.
good shout out, Salma. That's a good pull.
Yeah,
You're
the
like,
magic show was awesome. That was like it was funny because us comics in the back were more enthusiastic than the kids in the audience. Like one of the kids, like I was with I was with Alexis, another shout out, Alexis Bradby, amazing. And we were like dying, like being like, ah, and then this kid, this like 5-year-old looked back at us and like judged us. And I was like, well, okay. I mean, it's for you, but whatever. I mean, I had fun. I had so much fun.
it's so funny. Oh my goodness. Travis Nye was the magician. He's been at Vail Comedy Festival 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get him back next year as well.
Yeah, that was
definitely. If you're watching this, from me, if you want a tip for experience in the Vail Comedy Festival, whether you're a comedian or a pass holder, go to the magic show. The magic show is incredible. We have a free kids one that's outdoors, usually multiple days. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about an indoor. This was like a PG-13. We might even do like a late night
God, that would be
magic show next year. Cool. Talking to Travis about that. But anyways, the magic show is really incredible. And a funny story for you that you might appreciate. So you run shows, right? Firecracker Comedy. You're familiar with the ups and downs of running shows. We last year, that afternoon magic show, we started it with 0 people in the audience. So like it was so depressing. It was like nobody was there. Nobody. It was the middle of the day. Nobody was to come. And so the volunteers went out and like harassed comedians into coming in. So we got like 8 comedians was the entire audience.
Yeah.
And it blew their mind. They're like every single comedian got up on stage with and they came in like all like with attitude, like, all right, fine, half an hour. Yeah, whatever. We'll come in, we'll support. And then within like 10 minutes, they were like, whoa.
Yeah. I think, was it Sammy was one of the people, right?
Sammy was one.
Yeah, Sammy told me, he's like, if anything, go to the magic show. I was like, all right. And then, I made a point to go and it was so fun. It was like really gets you out of your like ego and head and you just feel you're like a little kid again. It was, and with that there was like an actual 3-year-old that went up and that was like the cutest thing I've ever seen. And it just made me very happy.
Oh, that's cool. That's awesome. All right. Well, Salma, how can people find you?
I'm on Instagram. If you just search my name, Salma Zaky, it's written right there. I don't know if people will see that, but it's right there. Yeah. And if you just search that up, I'm on Instagram. And
I just saw your tattoo for a second.
Very brief. Firecracker tattoo. Yeah, matching comedy. And then I have a show in Denver. If anyone watching is in Denver, called Firecracker Comedy.
Check that out. Salma Zaky, she killed all weekend at Vail Comedy Festival.
Thank you, Mark.
Multiple people about like when people ask me like who consistently crushed, it was every time I was running around a lot, but every time I walked and you were on stage, the audience was losing it and you were killing it.
Well, thanks, Mark. I mean, you really made something special, and I'll make sure to tell the funny people to apply.
Yes, tell the funny people. Every Memorial Day weekend, Vail Comedy Festival coming out. Comics, you can apply November 1st every year. Pass holders, you can buy passes for the lowest prices starting January 1st every year. It's every Memorial Day weekend. You can see hilarious comedians like Salma Zaky. Come on out. Come through Vail, Colorado. This is episode of Live from Vail Comedy Festival. Thank you, Salma, for being
Thank
here.
you.